Hi friends, welcome to my channel, Unsettling Stories. As always, I have brought another horror story for you today. This story is from a friend of mine who is a nurse in a hospital. When she told me this story, I was quite startled. So, let's listen to this story in her own words. Before we start the story, turn off your lights and close your doors, and get ready to listen to this terrifying, night shift story. Let's start. Working the night shift in a nursing home, and I never experienced fear like I did that night. I work in a nursing home and my schedule consists of days, evenings and nights. It's rough transitioning between days and nights, but everyone that works here has the same shift, so we just get through them together. The building has about 100 residents, with 3 floors. The building is shaped like an L, with a north and south wing, and the nursing stations in the middle. The 3rd floor currently only has a few residents living there due to construction, with one of the wings completely shut down because they're ripping out the walls. Due to only a few residents being on that floor, only one nurse is required to be on duty on that floor. I've worked the night shift alone on that floor many times, and never really experienced anything scary or weird. Sure, it's creepy and dark at night, but that was it. I've never believed in the paranormal, at all. I had the mindset that I had to see it to believe it. I am a huge fan of true crime and scary movies and stories and true crime and paranormal documentaries. However, a few of my coworkers over the years had talked about how the 3rd floor is haunted. They'd hear knocks at night and see weird things. I was always intrigued to hear about it, but we would always just laugh it off. But that night a few weeks ago has really started to change my mind. I was sitting in the nursing station, watching movies and playing on my phone. I had just done my rounds and had answered a call bell. I had felt off that night, and constantly had that feeling of being watched. I also kept on thinking that I was seeing things out of the corner of my eye. The next part is hard to explain, but I'll try as best I can. As I was sitting there, all of a sudden a shadow dropped from the ceiling and hovered over me. But by the time I realized what I was seeing, it was gone. My heart jumped and I jumped out of my chair. There was no way it would be a shadow from anything, or a car passing by, as the only window looks out into the forest, with nothing but trees for miles. After a few moments I calmed down, and left the nursing station to go check on my residents. Nothing seemed amiss, and none of them were awake except for the little old lady at the end of the hall, watching her TV shows. As I walked back to the nursing station, I swore I saw feet or a shadow moving under the crack of the door leading to the wing that was closed for construction. I opened the door just to make sure it wasn't a wandering resident from another floor. Happens quite often, but there was no one there. I walked back to the nursing station freaked out, still feeling like someone or something was watching me. I settled back into my chair, and tried to watch TikTok videos to get my mind off of it. I was sitting with my back to the window, facing the door. After about an hour of watching videos, I glanced at the clock. It was 3:03. I remember being slightly annoyed as my coworker had promised to come up at 2:50 so I could have my break, and go out to my car to have a smoke. Unhealthy, I know. I'm trying to quit, but that night, I needed one. All of a sudden, I hear 3 knocks on the window behind me. I jumped up, looked out the window, and there I was, nothing there. Flight mode took over and I just darted down the hall, running into my coworker who was just coming off the elevator. Now bear in mind, I'm on the 3rd floor, which is pretty high up. There was no stairway, tree or ladder outside that window, so it was impossible for a person to be outside knocking on the window. I immediately asked my coworker if she knocked, or heard any knocking, and she said no. She could see how shaken up I was, and offered to switch floors for the remainder of the shift. I was very thankful, as being on the 2nd floor means you're with another nurse, so I wouldn't be alone. I went out to my car and had a few smokes and just tried to calm down. I talked to the nurse on 2nd floor, and she didn't seem too surprised. She's heard knocking up there, and seen and heard things she can't explain. A lot of people have died up there, and after that night I honestly don't know what to believe anymore. I haven't ever felt fear like I did that night, and I've since worked a few night shifts up there and didn't experience anything like that again. Could it be that I was just tired? I don't know. But I won't ever forget how I felt that night. If you have any real horror stories, you can send them to me at the email address mentioned in the description. And don't forget to subscribe my channel, like, comment, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, take care, bye.